It's past midnight, and your mind will not stop moving. You've replayed the same worry 3 times already tonight. The same words, the same what ifs, running on a loop you didn't choose and can't seem to turn off. The sheets are tangled around your legs because you've turned over so many times, searching for the one position where your thoughts might finally go quiet. Your phone is face down on the nightstand, but you already know that in a minute you're going to reach for it anyway, just to have something to look at that isn't the ceiling. Have you noticed how loud a quiet room can be when your mind is the one making all the noise? But even now, in this exact moment, you are not thinking alone. Someone else is awake with you in this darkness, someone who was watching before the worry even had a name. And he already knows the thing you haven't said out loud yet. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to organize it into the right words before you're allowed to set it down. You are welcome here exactly as you are. Tired mind, tangled sheets, and all. So before anything else, let your shoulders drop just slightly from wherever they've been holding on. Breathe in slowly and let it out even slower. You are not behind. You are not failing at rest. You are simply a person carrying something heavy in a world that rarely stops long enough to notice. Tonight, we are going to stop. Tonight, we are going to notice. Maybe you've tried everything you know to quiet your mind tonight. Counting your breaths, putting the phone away, then picking it back up. Telling yourself sternly that tomorrow will be fine, even while some part of you doesn't quite believe it. None of that makes you broken. It just makes you someone who is tired of thinking so hard about things you cannot control. You didn't come here by accident. Something in you is still looking for a way through this. Not around the worry, not pretending it isn't there, but through it, towards something steadier. That instinct is worth trusting tonight. Before we pray, let's take a moment to remember everything that is already a gift in your life. It's strange, isn't it? How worry can make you forget the ground you're actually standing on. So before we ask God for anything, let's remember what He has already given. Not because your worry isn't real. It is, but because gratitude has a way of loosening worry's grip, even before the prayer begins. Even before a single request is spoken, start with your breath. In and out. So simple you forget it's happening. And yet it has not stopped. Not once. Since the moment you were born. Nobody taught your lungs how to do this. It was given to you. It is being given to you right now, in this very second, as a quiet gift you didn't have to earn. Thank you. For this breath, think about your body for a moment. Not the parts you criticize, not the aches you're tired of explaining, but simply the fact that it carried you through today. Your hands that have held things you love. Your feet that have walked you toward people who matter. Your heart beating steadily beneath all that worry, refusing to give up on you even when your thoughts have been unkind to yourself. Thank you for this body that keeps showing up for me. Now think of the people who love you. Even if tonight, in the middle of your worry, it's hard to feel them close. A friend who checked on you this week. A family member whose voice still comforts you, even through a phone screen. Someone, somewhere, who would come running if you called them right now. You are not as alone as worry likes to whisper. Thank you for the people who make me feel less alone. Think about your home, Whatever it looks like tonight. The bed beneath you, the roof above you, the small quiet corner that is yours. It might not be everything you hoped for, but it is shelter. It is warmth. It is a place to lay this heavy mind down. Thank you for shelter and for rest. Think about today, even the parts that were hard. A conversation that went better than you expected. A meal that tasted good. A moment of unexpected laughter that caught you off guard. A stranger's small kindness you almost didn't notice. These are not small things. These are proof that grace is still moving through your ordinary hours, even the ones that felt heavy. Thank you for the grace hidden inside an ordinary day. And think too about this very moment. That you found your way here tonight. That in the middle of your worry, some part of you reached for peace instead of numbness. That matters. That is not nothing. That is the beginning of something turning, gently, toward the light. Thank you for bringing me here, to this quiet moment with you. Think about the seasons of your life that have already passed. The version of you that made it through school, or a hard job, or a heartbreak you weren't sure you'd recover from. That version of you is still part of who you are tonight, quietly reminding you that difficult seasons do end, even when they don't feel like they will. Thank you. For every season I've already made it through. Think about the small freedoms you rarely notice. The ability to choose what to eat, where to walk, who to call. Freedoms that many people in the world do not have, and that you were given without asking for them, simply as part of the life you were born into. Thank you for freedoms I too often take for granted. And think about tonight itself. The simple gift of a quiet hour set apart from the noise of the day. A chance to slow down and remember who you belong to. This hour is a gift too, however ordinary it might seem. Thank you for this hour set apart for peace. Think too about your senses tonight. The small physical comforts you rarely stop to notice. The warmth of a blanket. The last meal you ate, however simple it was. The sound of rain, or silence, or a familiar voice somewhere in the house. These small sensations are quiet gifts, arriving all day long, mostly unnoticed, because worry tends to take up so much space that gratitude gets crowded out. Thank you for the small comforts I usually walk past without noticing. Think about your mind for a moment. Yes, even the mind that has been racing tonight. It is the same mind that has solved problems before. The same mind that remembers people's birthdays, that learned to do your job, that can hold a joke, and a Bible verse, and a childhood memory all at once. Your mind is tired tonight, not broken. It has carried you well for a long time, even when it felt like it was working against you. Thank you for a mind that has carried me further than I usually give it credit for. Think about the fact that you have made it through every difficult season before this one. Every loss, every fear, every night that felt like it might not end. You are still here, still capable of gratitude, even in the middle of worry. That is not a small thing. That is resilience, quietly built into you over years you may not even remember clearly. Thank you for the strength I didn't know I had until I needed it. And think about faith itself. The simple fact that you still reach toward God, even now, even tired, even unsure whether your prayers are being heard the way you hope. That reaching matters. It is not nothing. It is, in its own quiet way, an act of hope. Thank you for the faith that keeps reaching, even when it feels small. Let your gratitude settle over your worry now, like a blanket settling over cold shoulders. It doesn't erase the worry. It simply reminds you that worry is not the only true thing about your life tonight. There is also this: breath, body, people, shelter, small grace, a mind that has carried you further than you realized, and a God who has never once looked away from you. Now that your heart is open and grateful, let us bring everything you carry to God in prayer. God, tonight, I come to you carrying more than I meant to carry. I come to you with the worry about money that won't stay quiet, the number in my account that feels smaller than my responsibilities. I come to you with the worry about my health, the small ache I keep telling myself is nothing, and the fear underneath that whispers it might be something. I come to you with the worry about the people I love, whether they're safe tonight, whether I'm doing enough for them, whether I'm failing them in ways I can't even see yet. I come to you with the worry about my future, the decision I keep circling and still cannot make, the job that might not be what I hoped, the relationship I'm not sure how to hold, the years passing faster than I feel ready for. I come to you with the worry that shows up as a tight chest before I even know why. The kind that arrives without warning in the middle of an ordinary afternoon and makes my heart race over nothing I can point to directly. I come to you with the exhaustion of always scanning for the next problem, always bracing for something to go wrong, even in the calm moments I should be enjoying. I don't know how to simply rest in a good moment anymore, without some part of me waiting for it to end. I come to you with the worry about being a burden, the fear that if I said out loud how anxious I really am, the people around me would grow tired of hearing it. So I smile more than I feel like smiling. I say I'm fine more than it's true. And underneath that performance, I am quietly exhausted. I come to you with the worry about the world itself, the news I can't stop scrolling through, the heaviness of things I have no power to fix, the quiet fear that everything is somehow more fragile than it used to be. I come to you, too, with the quieter worries, the ones I haven't said out loud to anyone because they seem too small to mention or too embarrassing to admit. The worry that I'm falling behind everyone my age. The worry that I said the wrong thing in a conversation days ago, and I still can't stop replaying it. The worry that I'm not doing enough as a parent, a partner, a friend, a son, or daughter. The worry, underneath all the other worries, that I am somehow not enough. God, I am tired of the specific exhaustion that comes from overthinking. You know the pattern by now. A thought arrives, and instead of passing through, it circles back, and again, and again. Each time picking up a new fear, a new worst-case scenario, until what started as one small concern has become an entire storm in my head. I am tired of arguing with my own mind at midnight. I am tired of rehearsing conversations that haven't happened yet, defending myself against things no one has even said. God, I am tired of carrying all of this alone. I am tired of the version of myself that pretends to be fine when I am not. I am tired of lying here at night doing the math on problems that don't have clean answers. I am tired of my own mind, honestly. The way it circles the same fears again and again, as if repetition will somehow produce a solution. So tonight, I am laying it down. Not because the worry has disappeared, but because I am choosing right now to hand it to you instead of holding it alone. Peace. I am asking you for peace tonight. Not the peace that depends on my circumstances finally being fixed. Not the peace that waits for the test results, the bank balance, the phone call, the outcome. I am asking for the kind of peace that doesn't make sense given what I'm facing, the kind that guards my heart and my mind, even while the situation itself stays unresolved. Let that peace stand watch over me tonight, like a quiet soldier at the door of my mind, refusing to let fear back in. Quiet the specific loop that has been playing tonight. The one conversation, the one fear, the one worst-case scenario my mind keeps returning to, no matter how many times I try to set it down. I don't need the loop to disappear forever. I just need it to loosen its grip long enough for me to sleep tonight and to trust that tomorrow, in the light, this same worry will feel more manageable than it does right now in the dark. Help me tell the difference tonight between the thoughts worth thinking through and the thoughts that are simply fear dressed up as planning. Not every worry deserves the hours I've given it. Help me release the ones that are only borrowing trouble from a future that hasn't arrived yet, and hold gently onto the ones that actually need my attention tomorrow, in daylight, with a clearer mind. Strength. I am asking you for strength for what tomorrow will ask of me. Strength to get up when I'm tired. Strength to be gentle with the people I love, even when I'm running low. Strength to face the hard conversation I've been avoiding. Strength to keep showing up for my life, even the parts of it that feel heavier than I expected them to be at this age, in this season. I don't need strength for the whole month. I only need enough for tomorrow. Give me that. Provision. I am asking you to provide for what I actually need. Not what worry has convinced me I need, but what will actually carry me through. If there is a need I haven't spoken yet, even one I'm ashamed of, I trust you already see it. Provide for my body. Provide for my family. Provide for the practical, unglamorous things that keep a life running. And help me trust that provision doesn't always look like abundance. Sometimes it looks like just enough, exactly when it's needed. Protection. I am asking you to protect the people I love tonight, wherever they are. Protect my children, if I have them, in ways I cannot see or control. Protect my parents as they grow older and I grow more aware of how much I still need them here. Protect my own heart from bitterness, from despair, from the exhaustion that makes people give up on hoping. Stand between us and the things that would harm us, seen and unseen. Protect my sleep tonight, specifically. Let my body actually rest, not just lie still while my mind keeps working. Quiet the part of me that treats rest as something to be earned only after every worry is resolved. Tonight, let rest simply be a gift, freely given, whether or not everything is figured out by morning. Peace again, because I need to ask for it more than once tonight. I am asking for peace over the specific decision I keep circling. The one I've turned over so many times, I've lost track of which option even seems right anymore. Quiet the part of my mind that believes I have to solve it all right now, tonight, before I'm allowed to rest. Some decisions unfold in their own time. Help me trust that this is one of them. I am asking for peace over the comparison that quietly wears me down. The sense that other people seem to have their lives figured out, while I am still circling the same fears, the same uncertainties, year after year. Help me remember that I am not seeing their nights. I am only seeing their mornings, curated and calm. My struggle is not proof that I am behind. It is only proof that I am human, living an honest life instead of a performed one. Strength again, because tomorrow is going to ask something of me. Give me strength for the ordinary weight of tomorrow. The emails waiting in my inbox, the household that still needs tending, the responsibilities that don't pause just because my mind has been somewhere else at night. Give me strength not to snap at the people closest to me simply because I'm exhausted from carrying this worry quietly all day. Give me strength to be patient with myself when I move slower than I'd like, when I need to rest more than I planned to. Give me strength, too, for the conversation I've been avoiding, the one where I need to ask for help, or admit I'm struggling, or set a boundary I've been too afraid to set. Words that feel impossible to say at midnight sometimes become possible in the light of morning, when you've gone ahead of me and softened the moment before I even arrive at it. Give me strength for the small, unglamorous parts of tomorrow, too. Getting out of bed when my body feels heavy with everything my mind carried overnight. Making a meal instead of skipping it. Answering a message instead of letting it sit unread. Adding one more small weight to the pile. None of these things sound like they require strength until worry has drained you, and suddenly even the ordinary tasks of a day feel like more than you have to give. Meet me there tomorrow, in the ordinary moments, and give me exactly enough for each one as it comes. Provision, again, for the things I haven't said out loud. There is a specific need on my mind tonight that I haven't spoken plainly, even here. Maybe it's a bill I don't know how I'll cover. Maybe it's the quiet fear that I won't have enough. Enough time, enough energy, enough patience, enough resources to make it through this season. I bring that specific need to you now, unspoken, but not unseen. You already know what it is. I trust you to meet it, in your timing, in your way. I think, too, about the people who are worried about provision tonight, in ways far heavier than mine. Those without shelter, without enough food, without the safety I sometimes take for granted. I hold them in this prayer as well. Provide for them, God, in ways only you can, and soften my own heart to be part of how you provide for others whenever I'm able. Protection, again, over the specific fear I haven't spoken yet. Protect me from the version of the future my worry keeps building in my mind. The one where everything goes wrong at once, where I'm left to handle it all alone, where the worst outcome is somehow the most likely one. That version isn't a prophecy. It's fear, dressed up as foresight. Protect my imagination from becoming a place where only bad things are allowed to happen. Protect my relationships from the strain my worry sometimes puts on them. The short patience, the distracted attention, The moments I'm physically present, but mentally somewhere else. Tangled in a fear I haven't shared. Help me be here, fully, for the people who love me. Even while I'm still learning to manage what I carry inside, I want to name something else too, God. The shame that sometimes comes with worry itself. The part of me that feels like I should have this handled by now. Like a stronger person, a more faithful person, wouldn't still be lying awake like this. I bring that shame to you as well, because I don't believe you are looking at me with disappointment right now. I believe you are looking at me the way you always have, with patience and with love. That doesn't require me to have it together first. So here I am, unfinished, anxious, honestly a little exhausted by my own thoughts, and still here, still reaching for you instead of away from you. I think that matters more than I usually give myself credit for. Let this prayer be enough for tonight. Not a magic fix, not an instant erasing of every fear. Just a real conversation between me and the one who made me about the things that are actually heavy in my life right now. I don't need every answer tonight. I don't need to know how the finances will work out, or how the diagnosis will read, or how the relationship will resolve, or where I'll be standing a year from now. I only need to know that I am not walking toward those unknowns by myself. That is enough for tonight. That has to be enough for tonight. Before we go further, I want you to say something with me. Quietly. In your own heart. In your own time. There's no performance here. No one listening, but God and you. Say this quietly with me. I am not alone in this worry. I am not alone in this worry. Let those words settle into the places worry usually lives. The middle of the night, the space behind your ribs, the tight place in your shoulders. You are not alone in this worry. God is not watching from a distance. He is here, in the room, in the dark, in the exact worry you're carrying tonight. Rest. Let that word rest over you now, even for a moment. Not because everything is solved, but because you were never meant to solve everything alone in the first place. Some of what you're carrying tonight has been carried for a long time. Months, maybe years, of quietly managing a fear you never fully said out loud to anyone. I want you to know that saying it here, even in silence, even to no one but God, is not weakness. It is honesty. And honesty is where healing usually begins. You have survived every hard night before this one. Every single time your mind convinced you that this worry would be the one that finally broke you. It didn't. You are still here. Still breathing. Still reaching toward light even in your most tired moments. That is not an accident. That is grace. Holding you together on nights you didn't even notice you were being held. Think back, if you can, to a worry from a year ago. Something that once felt unbearable, that kept you awake the same way tonight's worry is keeping you awake now. Notice that you made it through. Not because the worry was small, but because you were carried through it. One day, 1 hour, sometimes one breath at a time. The same God who carried you then is here now, in this room, in this exact moment, ready to do it again. That doesn't mean tonight's worry is small or unimportant. It means you are not facing it with less support than you had before. You have survived 100% of your hardest nights so far. That is not luck. That is a pattern worth trusting. Maybe you're the kind of person who takes care of everyone else. The one people call when they're struggling. The one who always seems to have it together on the outside. If that's you, I want you to hear this clearly tonight. You are allowed to be tired. You are allowed to be the one who needs prayer instead of the one who prays for others. You do not have to earn rest by proving you've held everything together first. And maybe you're the kind of person who worries about worrying, who feels guilty for not trusting God more, who reads verses about peace and quietly wonders why you still can't seem to reach it. I want you to hear this too. Faith is not the absence of anxious thoughts. Faith is bringing those thoughts to God anyway, again and again, even on the nights when it feels like nothing is changing. You are not failing at faith by being here tonight, still worried, still asking. You are practicing it. Maybe there's a specific memory tonight that keeps surfacing underneath the worry. A moment from years ago that still shapes how afraid you are now. A time you were let down by someone you trusted. A loss that changed how safe the world feels to you. A season where you learn, painfully, that things can fall apart even when you did everything right. That memory is part of why tonight's worry feels so heavy. It isn't only about the thing in front of you. It's about every time before this one that taught you to brace for the worst. God already knows that memory. He was present in it, even in the parts that felt unbearably lonely at the time. And He is present now, gently untangling the fear that memory left behind, one honest prayer at a time. You don't have to fully heal from it tonight. You only have to let Him sit with you in it, instead of carrying it alone the way you have been. Healing from that old fear won't happen in a single prayer, and that's all right. Some roots run deep, and untangling them takes time, patience, and maybe even people beyond this quiet moment. A counselor, a trusted friend, a community that can walk alongside you in daylight, not just at midnight. Bringing this to God tonight is not the whole journey. It's a real and meaningful step of it. There is also a kind of worry that doesn't come with a clear cause. The anxious feeling that shows up for no obvious reason, that makes you search your day for something to blame it on, when sometimes there simply isn't a single cause. If that's the kind of worry you're carrying tonight, you don't need to find its source before you're allowed to bring it to God. You can simply say, honestly, I don't even know why I feel this way tonight. And that unexplained heaviness is still welcome here. It doesn't need a reason to be real. It doesn't need a reason to be heard. So let this prayer keep unfolding, gently, without rushing you toward an ending that feels too neat for what you're actually going through. Real peace doesn't arrive like a light switch. It arrives slowly, like dawn. A little more light with every passing minute, until eventually you realize the darkness has lifted, almost without you noticing exactly when. Let it come like that tonight. Slowly, gently, without demanding that you feel better immediately. There is no timeline you have to meet here. You do not have to feel completely at peace by the time this prayer ends for it to have been worth praying. Even a small shift, your shoulders an inch looser, your breathing an inch slower, your mind an inch quieter than it was 20 minutes ago, is real progress. Healing rarely looks dramatic. Most of the time, it looks exactly like this. a slightly softer version of the same tired person, choosing to keep reaching toward peace instead of giving up on it. Grace. Let grace cover the parts of tonight you're not proud of. The short temper earlier today. The moment you snapped at someone you love because your worry made you brittle. The hours you spent scrolling instead of resting, hoping distraction would do what only peace can actually do. Grace covers that too. You are not disqualified from comfort because today wasn't perfect. Peace, settling now, slowly, over your chest. Strength, quietly gathering for whatever tomorrow asks of you. Provision, already being arranged in ways you cannot yet see. Protection, standing guard over you and everyone you love tonight. Let these words move through you slower than you're used to letting anything move. There is no rush here, no deadline on your peace. Just this quiet room, this honest prayer, and a God who has been listening to every single word. And every word you couldn't quite find too. And as you rest in these words, hear what God wants to whisper to your heart today. Tonight, I need you to hear 3 things about your worry. Not lectures, not commands. Just 3 things, spoken gently, from someone who has been watching you far more closely than you realize. The first thing is this. I already knew this worry before you did. Before it kept you up tonight. Before you found the words for it. Before you even understood, fully, what you were afraid of. I knew it. Nothing about your fear caught me by surprise. There is no version of your worry that I am discovering for the first time as you speak it. I have known the shape of this fear since before it had a name in your mouth. That means you never have to perform your pain for me. You don't have to explain it perfectly or justify why it's serious enough to bring to me. I already know. I already see the whole weight of it, the parts you've said and the parts you haven't. You are not managing this alone in the dark while I remain unaware. I am fully aware. I have been the entire time. So stop trying to carry it in a way that makes sense to me first. Just carry it toward me. That's all I've ever asked. I knew about the money before the bill arrived. I knew about the diagnosis before the test results came back. I knew about the argument before the words were even spoken. I knew about the decision you're circling before you had a single option laid out in front of you. None of it surprised me. And because none of it surprised me, none of it is too much for me either. You have been treating your worry like a secret you have to manage carefully, revealing only pieces of it, even to me, even in prayer. Tonight, I am inviting you to stop managing it and simply hand it over. Whole, unedited, exactly as messy and unresolved as it actually is. I am not waiting for a cleaner version of your fear before I respond to it. I see the version of tomorrow you're afraid of. I see it clearly, the same way I saw every hard day you've already survived. And I want you to know that seeing it doesn't mean I'm standing back, watching from a distance to see how it plays out. I am already there, in tomorrow, preparing what you will need before you even arrive. That is not a comforting phrase. That is how I have always worked, quietly ahead of you, preparing the way before you take a single step into it. The second thing is this. Your worry does not push me away from you. You might believe, somewhere quiet inside you, that faith is supposed to mean you don't worry at all. That a stronger, better version of you would have this handled by now. I want to correct that gently tonight. Worry is not proof that your faith has failed. Worry is proof that you are human, living in a world that gives you real reasons to be afraid. I am not standing back from you because you're anxious. I am not disappointed in you for lying awake tonight. I am not further away because your prayers feel more like panic than peace right now. I am close. I have always been close. Bring me your anxiety instead of hiding it from me, thinking it makes you unworthy of my presence. It doesn't. Nothing about your fear disqualifies you from my love. I have never once measured your worth by how calm you manage to appear. I see past the performance, past the I'm fine, past the smile you sometimes hold in place for everyone else's comfort. I see the real weight underneath, and I am not asking you to hide it from me the way you sometimes hide it from the world. You were never asked to carry this alone. Not the worry about money, not the worry about your health, not the worry about the people you love, or the decisions in front of you, or the future you can't quite see clearly yet. Every time you tried to carry it by yourself, you were carrying more than you were ever meant to hold. Let it go. Not because it stops mattering, but because it was never supposed to rest entirely on your shoulders in the first place. I have watched you apologize to me for feeling anxious, as if your fear were an inconvenience to my schedule. It isn't. I have watched you wait until you feel calm enough to pray properly, as if I only receive the polished version of you. I don't. Come to me exactly as you are tonight. Racing thoughts, tight chest, tired eyes and all. That is not a lesser prayer. That may be the most honest one you've prayed all week. I am not the distant, disappointed presence your worry sometimes imagines me to be. I am the one who counted the hairs on your head before you were born, who knows the number of your days, who has never once turned away from you in the middle of a hard night. Your anxiety does not embarrass me. It draws me closer, the way a parent moves toward a frightened child instead of away from one. Think about the nights you assumed you were praying alone, into an empty room, hoping your words landed somewhere. They didn't land in emptiness. They landed with me. Every unfinished prayer, every tearful whisper into a pillow, every silent plea you didn't have the energy to put into full sentences. I received all of it. Nothing you have ever brought me in worry has been wasted or ignored. The third thing is this. Your worry does not get the final word over your life. I know it feels loud right now. I know it feels like the loudest voice in the room, the one that keeps interrupting every attempt you make at peace. But loud is not the same as final. Your worry is a voice in the story. It is not the author of it. I have plans for you that your worry cannot see yet. Plans for good, and not for the harm your fear keeps predicting. A future and a hope that this current struggle does not get to erase. The thing that feels unbearable tonight will not always feel this way. I promise you that. Not because I'm dismissing how hard it is right now, but because I have seen what's coming, and it is not the ending your worry keeps rehearsing. Peace I leave with you. Not the peace the world hands out, fragile and dependent on everything going right. My peace. The kind that can sit steady in your chest even while circumstances stay unresolved. Do not let your heart be troubled. Do not let it be afraid. You are not walking toward disaster. You are walking toward me, one uncertain day at a time, and I am not going to let go of your hand along the way. I know it can feel, on the hardest nights, like you are walking toward the very thing you fear most. I promise you, you are not. You are walking toward morning. You are walking toward answered prayers you cannot see the shape of yet. You are walking toward a version of this season that, looking back, you will recognize as one where I never once let go, even when it felt like I had. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will hold you up with my own hand, even on the nights when you can't feel it happening. Especially on those nights, the worry that feels like the whole story tonight is only one chapter. There will be a chapter where this specific fear is a memory instead of an ache. There will be a morning where you look back at this exact night and recognize how far you've come. I am not promising you an easy road. I am promising you that I am walking every mile of it with you, and that the ending you are afraid of is not the ending I have written. Let me say that again, slowly, because I don't think you've fully let it land yet. Your worry does not get the final word over your life. Not the sleepless nights, not the racing thoughts, not the fear that has followed you through this entire season. It is loud and it is real, but it is not the author of your story. I am, and I am not finished writing yet. Cast your worry on me, because I care about you. Not manage it alone until you collapse. Not carry it quietly so no one has to see how heavy it's become. Cast it. Hand it over, the way you'd hand something heavy to someone stronger who offered to carry it for you. I am offering. I have been offering the entire time. I know the specific outcome you're hoping for tonight. The test results you want to hear. The relationship you want to see restored. The financial breakthrough you've been praying for quietly for longer than you've told anyone. I am not asking you to stop hoping for those things. I am asking you to trust that even if the path there looks different than you expected, I have not forgotten what you asked me for. I am working, even in the waiting. Especially in the waiting. So here is what I need you to carry out of tonight. Not the absence of worry, but the presence of someone who is bigger than it. I already know what worries you. Your worry does not push me away, and it does not get to write the final chapter of your story. I do, and I am writing something good. I want you to say this with me now, quietly, in your own heart. Say this quietly with me. I release what I cannot control, and I trust the one who can. I release what I cannot control, and I trust the one who can. Say it again, slower this time, and let it reach past your thoughts and into the tired place underneath them. I release what I cannot control, and I trust the one who can. Feel something loosen, even slightly, as you say those words. You don't have to feel completely different tonight. You just have to feel a little less alone than you did an hour ago. That's enough. That's exactly enough. If your mind wanders back to the worry in a few minutes, that's all right. It doesn't undo what just happened here. Peace isn't a single decision that solves everything permanently. It's a return. Something you come back to. Again and again, every time worry tries to pull you away from it. You are allowed to need to come back to this tonight and again tomorrow, and again the night after that. That's not failure. That's simply what it looks like to keep choosing trust. One moment at a time. Peace for the mind that won't stop racing. Strength for tomorrow's ordinary demands. Grace for the parts of you still learning how to trust. Rest for the body that has been holding tension it doesn't need to hold anymore. Carry these promises with you, and before you go, receive this final blessing. May the peace of God, the kind that doesn't wait for your circumstances to improve first, settle over your mind tonight like warm light spreading slowly across a dark room. May you fall asleep, knowing that your worry, real as it is, was never too much for him to hold. May you wake tomorrow, lighter than you feel right now. Not because every problem disappeared overnight, but because you remembered, even just for these few minutes, that you were never meant to carry it alone. May your health be strengthened. May your provision be enough, exactly when you need it. May your family be protected in ways only He can arrange. May your heart be softened toward yourself, the way His heart has always been soft toward you. May the decision you've been circling become clearer with time, not because you forced an answer tonight, but because peace has a way of clearing fog that pressure never could. May the relationship that's been weighing on you find a gentler season. May the money stretch further than it looks like it should. May the diagnosis, if there is one, come with more grace attached to it than fear. And may you, in the middle of all of it, remember that you were never asked to hold any of this by yourself, and when worry tries to return tomorrow, and it might, because that's simply what minds like ours do sometimes. May you remember tonight, may you remember these three things: that He already knew, that He never pulled away, and that your worry, however loud, does not get to write how your story ends. May tomorrow morning bring you one small piece of evidence that things are gentler than your worry predicted. A kind word from someone unexpected. A problem that resolves more easily than you feared. A moment of unexplained calm in the middle of an ordinary hour. Let it remind you, quietly, that you were held through the night, and you will be held through the day as well. Let these final words settle deeper this time, past the surface of your thoughts and into the tired place beneath them, where rest has been waiting for you the whole time. Peace over your sleep tonight. Grace over the mistakes you're still learning from. Strength waiting for you in the morning. Rest now. Rest now. In the truest sense of the word. Not just your body finally lying still, but your mind slowly loosening its grip on everything it's been trying to control. You do not have to solve tomorrow tonight. You do not have to carry next week's worry into these last few quiet minutes. Just this breath. Just this moment. Just the simple, sturdy fact that you are loved exactly as you are. Worry and all, let your last thought tonight, before sleep finally comes, be one of these three things: that He already knew, that He never pulled away, that your story is still being written, and worry does not hold the pen. Let it be simpler than a full sentence, if that's all your tired mind can manage. Just one word, if that's what's left in you. Peace. Held. Loved. Whatever word settles softest over you tonight, Let that be the last thing you carry into sleep. If this time together brought you even a little peace tonight, consider staying close to this space. Subscribing costs nothing, but it means these quiet moments will be here again the next time your mind won't settle. And something tells me, gently, that you'll want to come back. There is no pressure in that invitation, only an open door. This channel will be here tomorrow night, and the night after that, whenever worry returns and you need somewhere quiet to bring it. You are always welcome back here, exactly as you are, worry and all. Whatever tomorrow holds, a hard conversation, an unresolved fear, a question still without an answer. You will not face it alone. You never have. You never will. Rest now, beloved. Grace will meet you again at dawn.